Welcome to the start of the 18th season of Regen Rovers. Season 18. We've come a long way, and this season is actually the first season that we've been predicted to finish outside the relegation zone of any division that we've taken part in. We're predicted to finish 10th. I guess they had to predict us to finish fairly high up the table because we've qualified for the Champions League this year, of course. We're 45-1 to win the league. So if you want to put a tenner on us, you'll get quite a bit of money back if we do happen to win the league. And I think it's unlikely because Spurs are just so ridiculously overpowered. But there's a chance. There is a slim chance that we can put up a fight this year. Now, in today's episode, it's going to be a fairly long one because we're going to be taking on Leeds away from home in our first Premier League game this season. We've then got Spurs in the Super Cup, Champions League winners against us, the Europa League winners. And then we're taking them on again just 3-4 days later in the Premier League. Our first ever competitive game in our new stadium. Very, very exciting. And you're probably wondering, what am I going to name the new stadium? Because I did do a poll. It's at the time of recording this, it's not been open particularly long. So I'm probably going to leave it a couple more days. But I'm intrigued to see what the results are at the moment. I think we have a fairly clear winner. Mark Ball has beaten me. And also it's clearly beaten the third option, which was keeping it as the Regen Rovers Stadium, which is what the game decided. I'll leave this to run for another day. I'm recording this on Friday, but the video is going up on the Sunday. So by the time you watch this, I probably would have decided. The question is, do we call it the Mark Ball Arena, the Mark Ball Stadium, the Mark Ball Park? As someone suggested, ballpark, kind of works, doesn't it? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. There's not really a multitude of options you can use for this, but I'll pick my favourite basically. And I think we will unveil the name in the next episode. I guess it would have been nice to unveil the proper name for the first Premier League game, but we're likely to lose it. So let's have the new name for when we actually win a game, which will be around about here. In fact, it's our first Champions League game. I suppose it could be at home. It could be the first Champions League home game that we rename it for in the next episode. That might be played away from home, which was scupper my plans. It might be against West Ham instead then, which would be nice. Anyway, of course, in the last couple of episodes, we've played our first ever game. It was a friendly in the new Regen Rovers Stadium. We beat Real Madrid 4-0. And in the last episode, we played Mark Ball's testimonial. 3-0 win. I suppose it would have been nice to rename the stadium for that, but never mind. You guys have decided it will be called named after Mark Ball. And I think that's fitting. It's nice to name it after a player rather than me, the manager. I'm just a boring old manager. No one cares about me, really, do they? So, should we get on with the first match? Oh, transfers. There's not been any more transfers. I think I should probably reintroduce the players quickly that have signed. So, Isidoro Rodriguez, we've made it permanent deal. He was obviously only on loan last year. Antonello, new goalkeeper, new number one goalkeeper, looks really good. Ivan Kotasek, a Mexican central midfielder. Huge quality in his arsenal of attributes. Darren Brush on loan. He's going to be our backup right midfielder behind Novak. Probably our first choice right back this season, Mathieu Laurent from Belgium, from Real Madrid. He's got one cap for Belgium as well. And our backup left back behind Matt Smith, Peter Boyce on loan from Arsenal. We've signed a couple of English players on loan, which helps with the homegrown rule. We've also managed to increase the loan deal for Andre Aloisi. He's back here for another season and he's going to have to play because Van den Broek, of course, got injured in the last match. He's suspended anyway, so he wouldn't have played in this match either way, but he's unfortunately injured for 3 to 5 months now with a broken lower leg, which is a huge blow. But we should have enough about us to beat Leeds. They have been just promoted back to the Premier League. They've been a bit of a yo-yo team. However, they've got a good record against us. Remember, we hadn't beaten them for ages before finally beating them a couple seasons ago in the Premier League. The team I'm going with then, Antonello will make his competitive debut, as will Laurent. Rios, Isidoro Rodriguez and Matt Smith make up the back four. Novak, Aloisi, new signing Kotasek makes his competitive debut, with Tasakovic on the left because Torsten Lenz is just coming back from a slight injury. Navarrete and Anthony up front. We've got Mark Ball on the bench ready to pounce. Kalechi, Darren Brush, Tarasenko, Ray Henriquez is still here, Mark Gale, Adrian Smith. Let's get on with our first Premier League game. of this season. Right then, this Leeds team, it looks different to what they had previously because they had some real quality players. I don't know how many have still survived from when they were relegated from the Premier League, but it looks like they've replaced them with some good players still. I mean, that Bulgarian international, Chilean international, Argentinian, they've got some really good players. I don't know if these are all new, but let's just have a quick look at the history. So he's new. Signed on a free as well, blimey. What the hell? Why didn't my scouts find this guy? Someone who basically played hardly any games for Ludogorets. I suppose it was European football showing those games. They've signed him on a free. Oh, wow. And an Argentinian signed for £24 million. So they have really done their homework. They signed this guy for the Championship last year, but he looks really good. So they've got some quality talent. We'll have to watch out for them. We've got some new fresh faces in the team, hoping to sort of renew the vigour of the squads for Champions League football, of course. And hopefully we can push on in the league as well. Of course, this possibly could be the last season of Regen Rovers Series 2. Because if we win the Premier League or Champions League or both, if we win both, then this will be the last season. I've said, I'll reiterate, we might continue into the future. If we don't win anything, then I'm likely to sort of play it on and off during FM20 and have the odd episode here and there. But we'll see. My left ear is really blocked today. It's weird. I woke up. I think I slept weird on my ear, and it's so bizarre. I can't hear at my left ear. Well, I can't hear very much at my left ear. And when I talk, I can't really hear myself properly. I can hear myself out here. It's just bizarre. So hopefully I sound normal. Tasakovic has got injured and we don't have Lenz on the bench. Well, what do? I don't know. I guess Darren Brush can make his debut coming on the left, out of position. We've been fairly fortunate with our injuries over the years. We've had a couple major ones, but we've never had massive injury crises. I suppose we've had a couple striker problems. But Van den Broek out for 3 to 5 months. That Sasakovic injury might be quite bad. And here come Leeds. Good save. Second attempt. Good defending by Matt Smith. By the way, Isidoro Rodriguez won the Player of the Season award for last year. According to you guys, Twitter. It was so close. He finished about 3% ahead of Matt Smith, I think. Here's Anthony. Just throwing it wide. Navarrete was not far behind either. And Adrian Smith. They were all between 30 to 20% each for the poll, so it was very close. But Isidoro Rodriguez ended up being the winner. He was fantastic. He really did solidify defence last year alongside Rios, and hopefully they can continue that work this year. But here come Leeds. They've looked a little bit dangerous. Where's the midfield? It's his chance. Good save by Antonello again, paying back his transfer fee already with 2 very good saves. But we need to be better than this. Corner crossed in. That's headed away by Novak. And hopefully we can clear this at the second attempt. It's blocked again. But they've been good, haven't they? Here's a chance though. Isidoro Rodriguez into Kotasek, our new Mexican. He's tackled, but it's found Aloisi. It's out wide to Novak. Our Ukrainian crosses it in. Navarrete heads it just over. 0-0 at half time. Not the best start to this season. Let's go for that. Fired them up. I'm going to probably not change much, which maybe I'm going to go a bit more direct actually. Get the ball up the pitch to our strikers. And I will go attacking. 64 minutes on the clock. Matt Smith easily wins that. And here's Darren Brush into Navarrete. We know what damage he can cause to opposition defences. It's a good ball out wide to Novak. Novak crosses it in. And here's Darren Brush. And it's him again. It's crossed in Anthony. First goal of the season for us. And it's an assist from our new man on loan from Everton, Darren Brush, playing out of position. Did well. Novak did well. But persistence from Darren Brush in the end. Managed to get the ball into Anthony and he applied the finish. Second attempt it was crossed in. And yeah, nice finish from Anthony in the end. That's good to see. Back up and running. Back up and running. Well, this is us running for the first time this season. Going to throw in Safet Kalechi for Navarrete. He's not done a huge amount today. I suppose he did start that attack though for the goal. It's been a very quiet second half. I've got one more sub to make. Aloisi's picked up a knock. Now Tarasenko's going to come on for him. I think we'll swap those two round. Kodsek can play as a box-to-box midfielder pretty effectively. Let's just do a bit of time wasting. The end of this match. Can we hang on? Well, there were a few highlights in the first half, but very little in the second half, apart from our goal from Anthony, who's given us all 3 points. Our man of the match, though, was Antonello. In goal, he made a couple crucial saves in the first half. Matt Smith also played well. Anthony got a 7.1 as well. Antonello, on his first appearance for the club, picks up a clean sheet and a man of the match performance. I mean, Adrian Smith has been a fantastic goalkeeper for the last, 4 seasons. He was our number one. And he's a little bit unlucky to be replaced by Antonello. But we know we have a very capable backup. But you can see the quality difference. Antonello is better. You can see that. So we have a chance to win our first trophy of the season already. Although it's going to be very tough against the Spurs team. We've only ever beaten once and drawn against once. They've beaten us 10 times. But the Super Cup, it might not mean very much to them. It probably does. They like winning everything. They're winning absolutely everything. They really are. They're insane. But we're going to give it our best shot. I've changed the team up a bit, making up for the fact that Mark Ball didn't play in the Europa League by starting him ahead of Anthony, who scored our first goal of the season. Also into the team comes Torsten Lenz, back from injury. Tasakovic, unfortunately, is out for up to 3 weeks. And Aloisi's picked up a bit of a knock as well. He's on the bench. I can't fill the bench. I looked at the under-23s, but they're playing today, so I can't pick under-23 players for the bench either. But never mind. Any other change? Oh yeah, Tarasenko's come in for the injured Aloisi. Let's get on with this then. Let's have a look. Oh, this guy is insane. He's their captain, but he's one of the best players in the world. If not, he might have won the best player in the world. Possibly, I don't know. He's the golden shoe. Maybe he hasn't won the best player in the world. I don't know. But either way, he's exceptional. On the right hand side, an English international with 112 caps. Playing behind Caruso is another English international. They've got a fairly old sort of attacking lineup there, but a fairly young Danish international on the left who looks ridiculously good as well. It's just showing you the quality. I mean, they're internationals with huge number of caps, regardless of their age, and they're the best team in the world. They've won the Champions League twice in a row. They've won the Premier League 3 times in a row. Look at the quality. Look at the number of caps amongst these players. It is obscene. It really is. The amount of money they're paying in wages as well. I mean, we're paying £1.4 million a week now, but Spurs must be paying like $3 million or something. Let's go for this and just pray. I mean, maybe I should adapt for these sorts of scenarios and play a defensive team, defensive lineup, change the tactic to defensive. But nah, we're gonna be naive and just go for it and hope that we can pull off a miracle. We beat them once and it was like 4-1. It really was a miraculous result. But the rest of the times, they tend to beat us comfortably without conceding as well. But we'd love it if Mark Ball scored today, wouldn't we? And we've won a corner early on here. Tarasenko to take it, crossed in, headed away. And the counter-attack from Caruso all the way over to Samuel. And he's through. And it's 1-0 already. I was feeling positive about that corner. I thought, oh, this is a chance. But we don't get hit on the counter that much these days. But Spurs are so good. I mean, that is just so clinical from them, isn't it? And it's an uphill struggle already. Maybe our first ever home game in our new stadium, competitive game. Perhaps we're going to have to be a little bit more pragmatic. I don't know. I would rather win that game than this. I know it's a trophy, the Super Cup, but I'd rather win our first competitive game in our new stadium. But it's so unlikely. It really is. Perhaps I should go count. I like balance. Balance seems to work nicely for us. It does. We seem to be able to hit teams on the break. Oh no, Caruso, good save by Antonello. He's unhappy about conceding his first Regen Rovers goal, and now he's pulled off a good save from a clear-cut chance for one of the best players in the world. Here's Samuel taking a corner though, crossed in, and Antonello catches it. Adrian Smith probably won us a few points in the last few seasons, but I reckon Antonello will save us even more points. Our defence was magnificent last year. Goal kick for Spurs, playing it out from the back. We're closing down, but they've managed to escape that trap. But Rios, he's headed it into the path of a Spurs player. That's not going to help. Caruso, 2-0. Clinical again from them. What do? I guess on the whole, this system works against most teams. There's just the odd team that we just have no chance against, and that's when I need to be a bit more creative, I think, with my tactics. But the thing is, I don't have a defensive midfielder in the team. You know, we don't play a defensive midfielder, so I don't have one available. Meaning, you know, I could pull one of the strikers back and slot them in there, and I suppose Mark Gale could play there. We could play one of the midfielders there. Kotasek could play there, I suppose. But it's not ideal, and he's not a ball-winning midfielder. He'd sit there as a deep player. But maybe having an extra man in there would just help generally. I don't know. Maybe I should give that a go in the next game. I probably won't. I think I'll just blindly trust this tactic that made us qualify for the Champions League and won us the Europa League. It's obviously good. It's obviously a good tactic. I just think, personnel-wise, we're obviously weaker than Spurs, and they're just too strong. And my system isn't good enough to overcome the quality that they have in their squad. Making a couple changes with the next game in mind. Been a bit defeatist in this game. Can you blame me? The record we have against Spurs? One last change. Well, to be fair, it's only 2-0. I think defensively we are solid. It was a counter-attack, and then Rios sort of giving the ball away in a bad area that led to their 2 goals. So I suppose we can't be too negative. But the thing is, we can't score against Spurs. They're just so good in every area of the pitch. It's tough. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to win the Europa, the Super Cup or whatever it's called. But I wasn't expecting that. Let's focus on the next Premier League game. Perhaps I should make some tweaks. Here we go then. Spurs for the second time today in our brand spanking new stadium. The first ever competitive game in Mark Ball's stadium. It's not the official name yet, but it belongs to Mark Ball. It is his. And that'd be a massive picture of his face on the front of the stadium, I'm sure. So I've made changes. We're going defensive. I noticed that I was using the home tactic against Spurs in the Super Cup. Maybe I should have gone with the away tactic. I don't know. I've been using the home tactic for a long time without really changing it. But we're going with the away tactic, and I've changed it to defensive. I've also turned off run at defence, so hopefully my wingers don't lose the ball as much. They're going to hit early crosses into the box for our strikers. Everything else keeping the same, but the main difference really is having a standard defensive line rather than a high defensive line. We'll see if this makes a difference. I've not changed the formation. I've not stuck a defensive midfielder in there. We're going to trust the system, the formation, but we've changed the tactic, basically. A few changes to the lineup as well. Bruno Agra has come in for Tarasenko. Anthony's come back into the team and playing up front. I think everyone else is the same. The Spurs team, I think, is the same looking at them. Our new stadium. I don't want us to get completely murdered in our new stadium. Our first competitive game. I mean, the games against Real Madrid and Barcelona, though, although there are friendlies, brilliant ways to start our life in this new stadium. We've not lost yet, and we've played quite a few friendlies here now, but this is likely to be the first defeat here back in Winchester. Okay, let's try and be positive. Come on, lads, you can do this. You can do this. Let's encourage them. Yes, come on, show your support. Let me know your thoughts for this season, though. Where do you think we're going to finish? How do you think we're going to do in cup competitions? How do you think we're going to do in the Champions League? Let me know your predictions in the comments section below. I usually ask that at the start of the video, but I haven't. Just got straight into the action today as quickly as I possibly could. Anyway, first highlight of the game. 18 minutes in. Spurs on the ball, in possession. Here's Hussey. But Lenz has done well, but he can't win it properly. And they're just passing it around. And it's out wide to Hussey again. And it's into Samuel. Crossed in. 1-0. They're playing him, different guy up front. Where's Caroso? Is he playing behind? Does he not play? It doesn't really matter. They're 1-0 up. See, having that deeper defensive line enabled them to score that type of goal. So I don't know whether that's actually a good thing, having a deep defensive line or not. It's so difficult. I just don't think we have the quality in the team to beat this Spurs team. End of. Now that's the first ever competitive goal scored in this stadium. It would have been nice if we'd had a nice easy team to start with, and we could have had a nice win. But you can't pick your face. It's all decided for you. It's Sanogo. It's played back to their goalkeeper. Come on, pressure. Go up. Yes, Anthony, go for it. Into their centre-back who plays out wide. Their full-backs get so far forward. Hussey. Into Samuel again. Samuel cuts in. Has the shot. It's just wide. I think we're going to go balanced. Get creative, lads. Come on. Oh, another injury. What is going on? I swear I get all my injuries in one go. I can go months without injuries and then suddenly all of them happen at once. Bloody irritating. Well, Darren Brush is going to come on for Lens, I guess. It's a lovely stadium. Look at the stands. Beautiful. Old school stadium. Been unlucky so far. It's only 1-0. You know, there's a chance here that we can get back into this. Right, let's go. Come on, let's stay positive. We've had 3 shots against Spurs. That's not bad. Here we go, a corner. Agra nips it in. Oh, it's off the post from Rios. Was it Rios? I don't know, but that's really unlucky. Once again, defensively fairly solid, apart from the goal. Been all right. Strikers aren't getting the service, though. That's an issue. Gonna push Brush up. Focus down the left. Be a bit more direct. And Kalechi could come on, maybe. I mean, Navarrette's had a poor start to the season, hasn't he? Let's go for that. We're going to have to do something else if we want to try and grab an equaliser. I mean, it's fine. It's only 1-0, but it's still a loss at the end of the day. Here's Isidoro Rodriguez. Pumps it long for Anthony to run onto. Come on, Anthony. This is your chance. Anthony! What was that finish? That was bizarre. A clear-cut chance. We've actually had a clear-cut chance and 2 half chances. They've had nothing. It shows how solid we are defensively against this very impressive Spurs team. Isidoro Rodriguez up to a 7.6. But we're still going to come away with 0 points. I'm going to throw Mark Ball on for Novak. Let's go attacking. Lump it long. Lump it. Here we go. Few minutes to go. Here we go. Matt Smith. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Matt Smith. Into Agra. Back to Matt Smith. Crosses it. It's Kotasek. Crosses it. Cleared. There's lots of crossing going on. Matt Smith to Agra. It's going to be a counter-attack goal for Spurs, isn't it? Because we've got no one back. Well, we do, but they're not defending. Here's Christensen. They've cut us open. And this is going to be 2. Oh, brilliant save by Antonello. That was exceptional. We have given it a go in the second half, let's be honest. I've got to be fair to the lads. Lawrence into the box. Poor throw, really, to no one. Maybe the players just weren't in the right position. But here's Monturi. Samuel's running onto it. Matt Smith clears. Safety first. We're going to lose our first ever game in this new stadium. Regen Rovers Stadium, Mark Ball Stadium, whatever you want to call it. It's unfortunate. I'm kind of glad that perhaps we haven't officially renamed it yet. Because when it's officially renamed, we can win our first game in the Mark Ball whatever. That would be nice. Wasn't to be in the end. So we wait for our first competitive goal in this stadium. Be interesting to see who can score it. Isidoro Rodriguez, your player of the season from last year, picks up man of the match ahead of the Spurs players. I think we got to give the lads credit today. Defensively solid. We created a couple opportunities. Anthony couldn't take his opportunity, the clear-cut chance. We stopped Spurs from creating much. Antonello pulled off a good save to keep it at 1-0. Let's focus on the positives. The Spurs are probably going to win the league. I mean, realistically, we've lost this game. It probably means we're not in with any chance of winning the Premier League this season because Spurs only lost 1 game last season. We've already lost 1. But, like I said, focus on the positives. I think we've got more chance of winning the Champions League than the Premier League, actually. Because Spurs could lose a knockout game if we don't have to take them on. You know, they could lose a knockout game. And oh, by the way, we didn't fill the stadium, which surprises me. That surprised me because against Real Madrid, we didn't quite fill the stadium because Real Madrid didn't bring all their away quota. I don't think. But against Barcelona, that was the same. Or maybe it's interesting. We've not actually filled the stadium out yet. And against Spurs, you'd kind of expect that, considering I think we were easily filling Luton Stadium. Plus, there was, I'm pretty sure. I feel like there was a lot more fans that didn't get into that stadium. It might be that, you know, we've got a lot of new fans in the Luton area and they don't want to come down here or something like that. Either way, it's still a good capacity considering where we came from. It's still overall pretty good going. Southampton, we did fill it. So local fans, lots of local people. Southampton filled their away quota. And it might be that yeah, the away quota wasn't filled. I don't know. That's a lot of away fans, I suppose, in a small stadium. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, next few games we've got Chelsea, Brighton, Aston Villa, then the Hampshire Senior Cup. First Champions League game of the season. Hopefully we'll be at home and we can show you that one. If not, then I guess the West Ham game will be the unveiling of the new name for the stadium. I just realised I forgot to show you the team report, which is what I tend to show you at the start of the season, just so you can see how we compare to the rest of the league. We're still younger than the average age for a league team, but obviously our average age has increased over the years. We were relying on very young players to start with, but now we've got more experienced players. Our oldest player in the team is Mark Ball. By the way, Trent Alexander-Arnold still going strong for Liverpool, 148 caps for England as well. Let's look at the comparison. I'll just turn my face off and we'll quickly go through. So, I mean, there's still a lot of things that are below average, but we've certainly improved the squad, I think. We do heavily rely on a good system, and I think our first 11 is strong, but maybe the sort of backup players let us down a little bit with these attributes when we go through. But we've certainly improved over the years that we've been in the Premier League, that is for sure. And I think we'll have a good season. I reckon we'll do alright. We've won one game 1-0, and we've lost one game 1-0 so far this season. And there's a long way to go, but I fancy my chances of finishing top 4 again. But we'll end it there. Thank you for watching today's episode. Little bit disappointing, only 1 goal scored, but expected defeats against Spurs. And overall, I think they were fairly solid performances and encouraging performances moving forwards. But until next time, enjoy FM19, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.